Hey, it's Krisstina from Ninja Pirate, and today I'm going to show you how to regrip a staff with sports grip. One thing you might want is some reflective tape to go around the center so that you can see it a little better in the dark. Having a visible center is very useful on a staff in the same way that focusing your eyes when you're trying to balance on one foot helps. So I wrap it around once and I give it a little bend. I overlapped it a little. Now while you do want to have a clear center mark, you're not going to want it to be this thick because the center of the staff is where you really need grip. It's what you're rolling around on your body. In order to find the center of the staff, you could measure from end to end and go in the middle, but just in case there's any kind of variance in the hardware that are on each end of the staff, or if I'm regripping a staff with burnt wicks and one might be more deteriorated than the other, I like to actually do a balance test. So if you use a Sharpie marker, it has this little tab on it, and you can balance the staff on it and kind of lean it a little bit into that tab. Make sure you're not turning it left or right so that it's in the center, and when the staff does balance, that's how you know it's in the right place. I like to put my thumb right up against the little tab that we were working with, and because this is a carbon fiber staff, a silver Sharpie marker is going to be more visible. I make a little dot, and then I recheck to make sure that I'm still in the center, and just go until I find the exact center with my mark. Then I take the reflective tape and remove the backing, line up the center with the center of that dot, and applying even light pressure, bring it all the way around the staff. This part doesn't matter if it's perfectly straight because most of it's going to get covered up by the grip. Then I take a pencil and I make a line in the middle of this grip, and I double check that I'm still right in the center of the staff with that line. Some people like to grip things horizontally and just roll the staff as they go. For me, particularly with this sports grip, I feel like I need to add a little bit more pressure in order to keep the edges from flapping up. So I tend to do it vertically. So if you unroll the grip, you'll notice that at one end there's a tapered edge. Not the side with the little bevel, but it actually goes down in a slant to get smaller towards the end. You want to take that tapered edge and put it towards the center of your staff. Now I like to have a visible center, but one that's only about 1/8 of an inch wide. So 1/16 of an inch beneath that little line that I already made, I'm going to start to lay the grip. The left side in this instance, I put the corner a little bit down and I pull it with an even steady pressure around until I can overlap that corner. And because I'm trying to overlap it straight at the top, that's why I put the left corner a little bit down. I pull it. This kind of grip I add a lot of pressure to. It will rip if you really tug on it, but it's okay to give it a good firm pull as you're going around. Before I start to angle it down the staff, I do about another half rotation. And then you'll notice that there's a beveled edge on the end and the top of these pieces of grip. As you're going around, you lay the top beveled edge into the bottom beveled edge. This will be more visible in a minute when I show you how to do stripes. Pulling it tight, you want to make sure that those edges don't flap up if you're rolling your finger over top of it. And you're going to continue down the staff. I like to give it a little twist. I fold the paper over so that my fingers are on top of it and pull it down as I go, and it keeps the adhesive from sticking to my fingers. Pull, lay, twist. Pull, lay, twist. Now, depending on what kind of staff you're gripping, you can measure from the ends and on each side cut the staff at an even point. Like if it was 5 inches where the ruler was right here, then you would make a mark. I like to use a pin for this part. Across where the grip meets on the staff, where you want it to be a straight line. Then you will cut across from one line to another. Grip tape tends to cut a little bit better if the backing paper is on it. When you roll it back again, it'll be in a straight line around in a circle. At that point, you can take electrical tape and just 1 or 2 times around is all you're going to need. You could also use heat-resistant silicone tape, or we actually use shrink tubes. Now for stripes. Again, we're going to start with the tapered edge. I like to put the darker color towards the center so it's more of a contrast. In the same manner as we did last time, you're going to lay the tapered edge just about 1/8 to 1/16 of an inch down from that pencil line that we previously made. Your left corner is going to be slightly down, and you're going to give it 1 wrap around center. You'll notice since I'm on the second side, I'm trying to line up the distance between the top and bottom grip loop. You overlap it just a little bit, and then you take your second grip. Then you're going to take that tapered edge and lay it into the beveled edge of the first grip. I'm holding on to them both with my thumb for the moment, but I'm going to use the first grip to overlap the both of them about half a turn. This is when I can start angling down, but you have to do it 1 grip at a time. So the second grip lays in the beveled edge of the first. The purple grip is going into the beveled edge of the green. And this first bit is the hardest bit of doing stripes. You kind of got to pull it really tight to find that place where it's not going to leave too much of a lump and you don't have little bits rolling up on you if you run down with your finger. So then you continue down the staff, one after the other. Making sure you're laying it into that beveled edge and giving it a pass over every once in a while so that you know that it's tight enough. There is a fine line between giving it the right amount of pressure and tearing it, but you have a lot more leeway with this particular grip than some others like EPDM doubles grip. Since we've used 2 colors, I'm going to have to mark, but you're going to be able to see it better, across both grips where I want them to end on 2 sides. Then I'm going to roll it back. And cut from mark to mark across. Rewrap it. And then use a couple wraps of electrical tape to finish it off.